Welcome back, everybody. So today we're going to try Bourbon County Brand Stout 2020, the 2020 version from Goose Island. Usually this comes out, the official release date before was Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. I did pick this up this morning at one of my local stores. This is the 14.6 version. I have known for a while that they've made different versions, but when I untapped it, it came up with the 14.2 version. It didn't give me the option, whereas when I did the 2019 version, it came up with both. So again, I picked this up this morning at 8 o'clock. It's been in the fridge. I took it out, let it sit, come up, I wouldn't say to room temperature, but just warm up a little bit. Now, just right before this, I did the 2019 version. I wasn't sure which way to go. Should I do the 2020 first, then the 2019, or the 2019? And I said, let's go oldest to newest. So $12.99 I paid for this. I did get an extra, and I'm sure I'll go back and get a couple more to age. On this one, drink by June 17th, 2015. So let's go ahead and get this open, get it into a glass, see what we think. Good hiss on there. Usually, I will say for barrel-aged beers like this, big ones, I would rather let them sit a year. So my score might differ a little bit from yours. Again, I've said it in a lot of my other videos. If I really want all that bourbon, that whiskey, alcohol taste, I would just drink the liquor. I want those flavors to, mellow out, mix together. So most of these, when they're fresh like this, my score might be a little bit lower versus somebody that really likes that big bourbon taste. On this one, we do have a little bit more of a head. It is dissipating, though. Lighter chocolate than the 2019 version. Now, when I say the 2019 version, I'm referring to tasting that in 2020, not new in 2019. Not even an eighth of a finger of head. Color is black. I do have a very dark amber hue at the bottom, but it's a stout. It's black. Let's go ahead and smell. A little bit more bourbon, a little sweetness in there, a little oakiness, maybe a little bit of roasted malt, but it smells like a very wet beer, or barrel, a very young beer. Yeah, I'm definitely that bourbon is what sticks out the most. Maybe a touch of vanilla in there. You do get a little oakiness, roasted malt. You could say that it's nothing that sticks out like some of the beers, but it's made with dark roasted malt. You're gonna probably get it, but this one, that barrel does dominate that roasted malt. Let's go ahead and taste. You definitely get that bourbon. You get that oak. I get a little bit more char. A little bit char, roasted malt, almost burnt. But I think that's kind of hard to say that it's almost burnt when you're getting that char. It's probably from the inside of that barrel. Yeah, I do get some sweetness. The aftertaste kind of brings out that chocolate, that coffee sweetness. But it is still like a bourbon oaky flavor, but it does kind of settle down, which you think it would. It's warming up, so you're gonna get some more of those characters coming out. Alcohol's covered up pretty well. I do get a little bit in my throat. On this one, I'm not sure if it's coming from the char or the roasted malts, but in the aftertaste, maybe a little bit more of a bitter chocolate. Like I'm getting some bitterness in there. Burnt sugar, right? Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, charred oak. I don't get smoke though. I was thinking this one had the burnt sugar in it also. So I guess that's more along the lines. Obviously, I didn't see that until now. That char character does stick out, and that's. I don't. Again, I don't know. The aftertaste does seem a little bit different, and I'm sure we're going to be able to see it after this. I'll do a side by side against the 1-year-old 2019 versus this one. But yeah, the aftertaste, that char, almost burnt malt. I'm still going with char in the barrels versus the malt. Smoke. I don't get smoke. Yeah, I don't get that smoke. As it's warming up, as I keep taking sips, that very syrupy, roasted malt chocolate is coming out a little bit more now. That bourbon dark fruit is still there. Man, this is hard. I don't know. I think I would score this one a little bit higher. It seems like it's more balanced, even though right now, at least for me, that bourbon up front needs to settle down just a little bit for me. But I think the rest of the flavors that you're getting out of this as your palate warms up to it. I mean, this is a big beer, so not, I guess, rating it or saying if it's good or bad until like 10 minutes into the beer might be a benefit to this one. Yeah, I think I would rate this one a little bit higher. I think on Untapped I'm going to have to go with a 4.5 out of 5, but I think I would probably go a 4.35, 3 or 4.4, somewhere in there. I don't think it's the level, at least in my book, to a 4.5. I think that char is just a little much, and I want that bourbon toned down. I would like to see some more vanilla in there coming out, since it is on there. I don't think you're going to get the caramel. I think the roasted malts are a little too much for that caramel. That's almost like saying coffee and chocolate in a beer like this. Unless they're putting in like baker's chocolate or semi-sweet chocolate, I don't think they should reference that, because that's what those darker grains are going to give off. So why even put it on there? Now a caramel, I would put caramel on the bottle if I actually put caramel in there, which I guess they could have, but I think you're getting sweetness, roasted malt. The sweetness could be from the caramel, but I don't think so. Yeah, I would go 4.35, 4.4 on the 2020 version in 2020. So let's go ahead and check Untapped. One of my friends has had it, and that is 21090 Brewing. Definitely go check them out. 4.5. A little over 1,000 check-ins, 4.51. Andy did give it a 4.5. Todd gave it a 4.75. I can now watch their video on it. let's see. No Hype did not rate it back in October. So yeah, definitely one to go pick up. Again, this is Black Friday of 2020. Technically, this just released. But yeah, go out, pick some standards up if you're into beers like this. I will have a side-by-side review out next. But yeah, good stuff. If you enjoyed this video, check some more out over here. And until next time, happy brewing.